we were using last time.
Oh, so today I'm not going to be learning from the Sefer, just notes. Thank you. Okay, so while we're waiting for everyone to come, today we're going to be starting with the halachas of Pesach. But even before we start the halachas of Pesach, there's already many halachas that start with the beginning of the month of Nisan. So we briefly spoke about them in the past, and today we're going to go and cover all of the things that need to be discussed just for the month of Nisan. So the importance of 30 days before Yom Tov, there's a special halacha that we begin learning the halachas of that Yom Tov, like we learned by Hilchos Purim, that there's a custom to start learning Hilchos Pesach before the Seudah, before the meal. So we're going to touch upon that, and we're going to be covering 4 other things today. Mitzvah Hashem, there's a special mitzvah of Kimcha de Pischa. It's called Mois Chitim. We'll discuss what that means today. Also, in the month of Nisan, there's a special mitzvah to make Birchas Heilones, to make a blessing on the first time that we see that when a tree starts to blossom, you make a special blessing. So we'll learn about that today also, Bez Hashem. The differences in the month of Nisan, when we daven, there's a few differences that we don't say Tachin the whole month. It's exciting, no? But also, it also means nobody does Avedas. That's why I don't have to say Tachin, there's no Avedas.
Wow.
And then there's
I never heard that.
there's a famous story when the tsunaka Rebbe came in to daven in a certain minyan. So the Chazan skipped Tachin. So if you can ask, why are you skipping Tachnun? So what do you mean? The Rebbe is here. Well, it's a special day. We don't say Tachnun. So he says, if the Rebbe is here, you don't do Avedas either. So.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Which Rebbe?
The Frierdiker Rebbe. The happened with Frierdiker Rebbe, yeah. And then, in Mitzvah Hashem, also we have to discuss today the custom of not eating matzah before Pesach. So these are, Mitzvah Hashem, the topics that we're going to cover. But before we start that, we're just going to quickly review on one foot what we learned on Monday about just mamish one line. If anyone remembers, what do we learn? Oh, that's really good. That's how you have to review. This Monday, there's a special mitzvah that we learn about so much in Chassidus. In Chassidus and the Sichos, it's brought all the time of B'chol, Rachel, Dayehu, in all of your ways you should know Hashem. B'chol Ma'asecha, and all of your actions should be L'Shem Shemayim. Right? So I just want to, on one foot, just to repeat over that we learned this past Monday that this halach is a little bit different than any other halach that we do. Because in action, your action is exactly the same thing. You're eating, you're sleeping, you're waking up. you're walking, whatever physical mundane activity that you're doing, the action on the level of matzah, it's the exact same thing. When it comes to doing something l'shem shamayim or b'chol d'rachecha dayeyu, the meaning is the exact same action that you're doing it l'shem shamayim. You're doing it for the purpose of serving Hashem. So when you're eating the same food, you're eating the exact same way. There's absolutely no difference. But the eating is with the intent, with the kavanah to serve the Eibishter, to serve Hashem. That you should have the koyach, you should have the strength to use it to serve Hashem. Also, there's a mitzvah of nishmat ma'id l'nefesh zeichem. You have to make sure that you're absolutely healthy and that you're taking care of the body that Hashem gave you. Right? So when you have in mind, you can be eating the exact same thing. But when you have in mind special that you're doing this in order to connect to Hashem, in order to serve the Eibishter, that is a mitzvah. That is bringing Hashem into the mundane, and the mundane now becomes holy. You're elevating even the mundane things that you do. So it's very important to mention that, because a person may think, this is all a very nice spiritual act. That's brought Chassidus. Sometimes I can think about maybe doing it, but the reality is, we saw this past Monday, it's actually brought in Kitzur Shulchan Aruch. It's actually brought in Halacha. So it's not just a nice, far-fetched spiritual thing. Okay. So this sefer is not so available. So I have a copy. We'll see if we can make copies of it. But until then, we can take notes. It's recorded. You can always review after. And it's not such difficult halachas. It's very simple, straightforward. What we do, what we don't do, customs, so on and so forth. So we're going to discuss, the first thing is the halachas and the minhagim, the halachas, the laws, and the customs of the month of Nisan. So it's interesting. So not just Pesach, which is in the month of Nisan, has its special set of halachas, but we see that the special customs specifically connected to the month of Nisan. So the first thing is, as we mentioned, this already even starts before the month of Nisan. 30 days before the Yom Tov of Pesach. The halacha is Shoylin v'dershin b'hilchas HaPesach Shloshim Yom Kedem HaPesach. 30 days, we start to ask and we start to darshan, we start to teach the halachas of Pesach even before Pesach starts. We already start 30 days before to start learning the halachas, which falls out when? Anyone knows? Almost. What do we do before the meal of Purim? Oh, we do, yeah. That's one of the things we do. Very good. No, you're right. We read Parsha Zachar, well, not Parsha Zachar, but a Parsha connected with the mitzvah of Lechinas HaMalik. And another thing that we do, that we mentioned by Hilchos Purim, is we start learning Hilchos Pesach before the meal. Why? Because it's 30 days before Pesach. There's a custom brought in the Ramah.
We didn't do it.
We did. Oh, it's okay. It's okay. We're doing it now. The Ramah in Hilchos Purim writes that we know the famous pasuk, the famous verse that we say by Havdalah also. La Yehudim Haisa Eira v'Simcha v'Sasin v'Yikar. Eira, light. We dash the Gemara learns out Zu Torah. It's referring to Torah. So it's an appropriate thing to do on Pesach to start learning Torah. What should you learn? It's 30 days before Pesach. You start learning Hilchos Pesach. So it's okay if you don't learn it. We're doing it now. That's
we already buy a matzah.
yeah, good, good. Yeah.
Got to take advantage of that $13 matzah.
That's right. Which one is it, from Ukraine?
I don't know.
$13 is not bad. That's
One that is 16.
that's
What?
yeah.
I mean, all the way that's like the best matzah in Paris.
Matzah's a stale cracker no matter what way you do it.
No, it's a mitzvah.
It's a mitzvah, but the mitzvah is still a stale cracker. Like, I'm down for the mitzvah. I love doing a mitzvah, but also we don't always have to enjoy it.
But it's a mitzvah to mehader.
Oh, very good.
I guess
It's
the same
mitzvah.
thing with like the Esther, like
I
you
should
get rid
say-
of it at the end of the day, but you should buy the nice one.
Yeah, so the matzah, which is one price, and the matzah, which is a much higher price, with both of them, you did the mitzvah.
Yeah.
But how the matzah was made, there's one, the one that's obviously more expensive, that one has a lot more hidurim, the way it was done. But both are good, both are good, both are 100% fine.
Yeah, we'll circle back next year.
Yes, something about it. And yeshiva students, before they bake them
Yeah, they make the matzahs, yeah.
for themselves.
They bake for themselves, and I think they're even available. I think they even sell the ones that they made. I think
You
so.
should buy from them.
Yeah, because it's special matzahs that Tmimim baked. Yeah, so it's actually brought down that I'll just bring an example of this. That Hilchos Pesach has the most halachas out of any other Yom Tov. So that's why it's brought down specifically to start on Purim itself. And I just want to bring out how practical this halacha is, that today, this morning, it's going through a few of my svarim. So there's a famous Pesach, Rabbi Zalman Auerbach. If you heard of him, if you didn't hear of him, it doesn't make a difference. He's not alive anymore, but he was from the biggest halachic authorities in our time that we always quote. And he has a set called Haliches Shleima. So if you look at the set, Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, Sukkot, Purim, Chanukah is all in one little sefer. And Hilchos Pesach is one, just Hilchos Pesach, without anything else, is one thicker sefer, much thicker than all of those Yom Tovim put together. So that's why the custom is we start Ma'amish on Purim, because there's a lot more to cover in Hilchos Pesach than all the other Yom Tovim. Somebody who knows that they won't have enough time to cover the entire Hilchos Pesach before Pesach comes, before the 30-day gap, it's brought down that it's proper to start already a little bit before, but don't worry about it. Everything you need to know, we're going to cover. This is somebody who's going to cover everything inside.
Also, when we do it for long years,
You know it
we
already.
know and
Yeah, exactly.
we can close some closets or the garage, we can.
Yeah, exactly.
sell it,
That's right. That's
So
right.
It's not
That so scary. That's right. Yeah, this is a good point. Every year that you learn the halachas, you review more and more. It's not going to be new information. You're going to know it. And we do mechiras chametz. We do sell chametz. So if there's places which are just too much to handle, you can sell it. You don't have to clean it. Also, there's a very special halacha that not only does one have to know the halachas pertaining to that day, but there's also a special mitzvah to learn what happened on Pesach. Right? Ba'atzmi Pesach, to actually learn, first of all, on Pesach itself, the miracles that happened on Pesach. And on top of that, even before the Yom Tov comes, we start learning the halachas. And on the Yom Tov of itself, there's also a mitzvah to learn the halachas and the story of Pesach itself. So there's two things. There's preparing before Yom Tov, the halachas that we need to know. So if somebody feels they need more time, so 30 days is not enough, so you start before. And there's also a special mitzvah to learn on the days of Pesach, the halachas pertaining to Pesach. Also to learn in Yonei HaChag, to learn what happened on this special Yom Tov. Why are we celebrating? All the miracles that Hashem did for us, so on and so forth. Now, anybody heard of shambhasa? Shambhasa is special Shabbos. It's a Shabbos before Pesach itself. And you'll see that every single community, the rabbi of the community, the rav of the community, gives a special drasha, the Shambhasa drasha. So just something to have in mind, that it's actually a minhag Yisrael. This is something which is, it's not just a nice thing to do, but every single shul, this is what they do. And the main thing of this special speech is to teach the people, the halachas, what they need to do, hagalas kalim, how to kasher kalim, beer chametz, how to fulfill the mitzvah of destroying chametz, how to bake, for those who bake matzahs, how to bake the matzahs properly, and to how to properly fulfill the mitzvahs of Pesach. It is not a time to give drashas and pulpulim and to go into deep concepts. It's a special time to just discuss what needs to be done. So therefore, if somebody has the option, they can go either to a class which is going to discuss the spiritual aspect of Pesach, so on and so forth, or they have the option to go and hear a class of Halacha Lamaisa of what you physically need to do to fulfill the mitzvahs. No question about it. You go to the class which discusses the Halacha Lamaisa aspect, the actual laws of Pesach. Yeah. Now, there's another custom that we do before Pesach. There's a mitzvah of tzedakah that we learned about that one does all the time, right? It's a special mitzvah. Every day we have a custom to give tzedakah. Now, there's a special custom of kimcha de pischa mois chitim, it's called, to give specifically to funds that help families if they don't have enough money for Pesach, so on and so forth. There's such a special halacha, such a special custom to give kimcha de pischa, to give mois chitim to the families in need. So the question is, who has to give it? Right? There's such a minhag, there's such a custom. Who does this custom apply to? So the answer is, it applies to everyone. And even those that are maybe exempt from specific communal taxes, it's brought down that people who are sitting and learning the whole day, they are exempt from certain communal taxes, but when it comes to this, kimcha de pischa, of giving ma'is chitim, even they have to participate because it's a special mitzvah to help every single Jew to be able to fulfill the mitzvahs of Pesach. How much needs to be given? So there's two things. There is the responsibility on the community to make sure that whoever needs gets whatever they need to be able to make a Pesach, to be able to make sure that they have what they need. So that's a responsibility on the community. The community has to make sure that everyone has. And then there's another responsibility of how much is every single individual need to partake, how much do they have to give? And the answer is you give according to what you could. Meaning every single person gives according to their means. Somebody's not able to, so they give a minimal amount. If somebody is able to, they give a larger amount. Whatever it is, it has to be according to your abilities. But the responsibility of the community altogether is to make sure that everyone has what they need. If somebody, as we learned in the halachas of Purim, if somebody has a family member, a relative who needs for Pesach, who has priority, them or somebody else in the community? The family member, correct. So just like we saw by Purim, the mitzvah of matanos avyenim, giving to those who need, the halacha is aniye ircha kedmin, those who are in your city come first. They come before somebody from a different city. And who comes even before those in your city? Family members. So whoever's closer to you, the obligation is to take care of them first, and then those in your city, and then those from a different city. Now, this is a famous question. Can you give Meiser towards this? People who are giving Meiser on a monthly basis, whatever it is, can they fulfill their obligation of Ma'is Chitim, of giving for Pesach from their Meiser? Is this something they can use it for? Can you make a guess? What do you think the answer is? Depends. Of course. That's right.
Is it one of those things, is it kind of like it depends on kind of how like paying for yeshiva or seminary?
Excellent. Oh, very, very good. Very, very good. This is on target.
Where it's like, say you're making $1 million and paying $50,000 for like multiple of your kids to yeshiva, that's not going to be an issue for you, so you're still required to do the 10%.
So very, 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 very good question. This is a general question when it comes to Hilchos Meiser. What can Meiser be used for? Right? Meiser, first of all, we learned in Hilchos Tzedakah, but let's just discuss it quickly now to catch everyone up. There's a special mitzvah that to tithe, literally. Any income that comes in, we take 10% and goes to tzedakah. So it's brought down, it should be given to institutions of those who learn Torah, or to give to those who don't have, to give to the needy, so on and so forth. This is the number one of the many, many, many popular questions is what can you use your meiser for? So there's a famous general rule when it comes to meiser that anything which one has an obligation to do, you can't use meiser for. For example, somebody needs to buy the lulav and esrog. Somebody needs to buy matzah. These are mitzvahs that a person anyways has an obligation to fulfill, right? So even though you're using the money for a mitzvah, but if you're doing it for a mitzvah that you have to do, you can't use meiser for. So for yeshivas, this is a big topic. On one hand, one is obligated to pay to educate their children. This is an obligation that the parents have to teach their children Torah. So can you use meiser for that? Yeah. Shenantam levanecha, that you have to teach your children, yeah. That the parents have an obligation to teach their children Torah. So now the famous question is, what happens with yeshiva tuition? Can you use meiser? Anyways, you're giving the 10%. Can it go towards the tuition for your children's chinuch? It depends. That's right. So the tuition is, let's say you pay $500 a month. I'm just throwing it out. If you find such a yeshiva that only charges $100 a month, you should tell all your friends about it. So that $500 a month, for example, it's going towards different things. $200 is going for the actual learning. $100 is going for the food. $100 is going for boarding. And $100 is going to the maintenance of the building. Right? So if you break up the tuition, what is your actual obligation? Your actual obligation, according to Halacha, is to teach them Torah. So out of the $500, let's say 200 of that is to fulfill your obligation, but the other 300 is not to fulfill your obligation. That's for, standard costs to have an organization, to have a school. So can you use your meiser to pay tuition? So for the $200 that you have an obligation anyways to teach your children Torah, so that you can't. The $300 you're going to support the physical needs of the school, that you could. So the same thing when it comes to that. With that, we're going to answer our question over here. One has an obligation, one has a mitzvah to give mois chitim. Some say it's only a custom. It's accepted that this is what we do. It's more than just a custom, it's an obligation on everyone in the city to give mois chitim. So what could you do? Mois chitim is to give to help the other families. Kim to the Pesach, yeah, exactly. It's the same thing, it's just two different names for it. So as we mentioned, so to give mois chitim it's an obligation. One has a mitzvah to do so. But what did we say earlier? You can give according to your abilities. So what do? You give a little bit from your own money, and the rest you can give with meiser. If you know a family that, let's say, they really need help, and you really want to help them, but to give them, it's not so simple. You have your own family to take care of. So what do? You give a small amount from your actual funds, your personal money, a small amount, so that you fulfilled your obligation. And then the rest, you can use your meiser, because you already fulfilled the obligation of giving mois chitim, because there's no specific amount, you can give anything. And then on top of that, the rest, you can give your meiser towards it. So you're helping the family with the sum that they need, and you can even use your meiser, which anyways you're going to give, to help them with that. So that is Yeah, so the main obligation of Meiser, of Meiser Chitim of Kimcha de Pischa, you should give with your own money, and the rest you can give with Meiser. Okay, good. So that's simple. Now we're going to discuss the Birchas Eilonis. Birchas Eilonis is another special halacha. Birchas Eilonis literally means the blessing of the trees. There's a special blessing that we find in the Gemara that when the trees start to blossom, we thank Hashem. We make a special blessing to thank Hashem for it. It's printed in the Siddur. So the halacha is like this: somebody who sees, literally you have to see it, the trees that they blossomed, and it has to be specifically in the month of Nisan. You make a special blessing of, again, I'm going to say it, but don't get nervous. It's printed in the Siddur. You can find it. If you don't remember it, it's okay. Baruch atah Hashem Elokeinu melech ha'olam shelo chiser ba'olam klum v'arabei brios toves v'ilanos toves lehanos b'hem b'nei Adam. We say, blessed are you, Hashem, King of the universe, that Hashem did not create anything in this world lacking. Everything is full, and Hashem created good creations, good trees, so we should be able to derive benefit from them, right? Trees create, some of them create fruits, they help us breathe, so on and so forth, right? They clear oxygen, so on and so forth. This is a tremendous blessing that we have, that we're able to really take part in, and we make a blessing when they start to blossom. So when do we make the blessing, right? So that's the blessing that we have to make. The question is, when do you do it? The answer is, we make the blessing in the month of Nisan specifically, right? So when Nisan comes, anyone knows when is Nisan coming? Next week.
It's Shabbos, right?
So this Shabbos is Shabbos Mevarchim. This Shabbos is Shabbos Mevarchim. And I'll ask you another question. We learned about it. Anyone remember? It's a special Shabbos this week. Shabbos Parshas Parah. Remember, we learned that there's a special 4 readings of the Torah that we do. So which ones did we already do? Anyone remember? Shkalam, Zacher. Now we're going to do Parah, and the next one is HaChedesh. So this week is Parshas Parah, which is Shabbos Mevarchim Chedesh Nisan. It's the month that we bless, the month of Nisan. So if it's Shabbos Mevarchim Nisan, that means Chedesh Nisan is going to be the following week. So as Nisan, the month of Nisan comes in, that is when the minhag, the custom, the halacha of making a special blessing on the tree begins. So as soon as you see the trees blossom and it hit already the month of Nisan, you make the blessing. What kind of tree do you need to see in order to make this blessing? Can anyone guess? Excellent. It has to be a fruit tree. So there's many, many good trees that can begin to blossom, but if it's not a fruit tree, that's not the one you make a blessing on. It should specifically be a fruit tree. And you'll see in Crown Heights, there's going to be many people that they have fruit trees. They'll put up a sign with the blessing on it, with a card.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah, so people can go and make a blessing. It's a proper thing to do if you're able to, if you can see if there's 2 trees there, because as we mentioned in the blessing, it says ilonos, lashon rabin, it's a plural, trees, not tree. It's a proper thing to do. If you don't have, you don't have, it's okay. 1 tree is good enough. It's only if you're able to. No, let's make a guess. Can you make this blessing on Shabbos and Yom Tov? Oh. The answer is yes, you could. You can even make this blessing on Shabbos, but you have to be careful. No, it's a good point, because you do have to be careful. In a community where there's no Eruv, can't carry your Siddur. So this is a good point that was brought out, that you have to be careful. So if you happen to be in a place where you see a fruit tree, and they don't have, it's not like in Crown Heights where they're going to have the sign for you so you can make the blessing, or any other religious community, don't make the blessing then. You'll wait until Sunday to make the blessing. Oh, good question. In Brooklyn, where are you gonna find a fruit tree?
On Crown Street.
On Crown Street, they have, they have a few, and I'm sure,
Let's go find fruit trees together.
There's not so many.
not so here, definitely not so many.
No.
No, here definitely not so many, but maybe one or two. Who makes the blessing? Men, women, children, everyone, that's right. So men make it, women make it, and even we teach children to make it. Now, here is an interesting question. Let's play out the scenario that was brought up. It was Shabbos. You saw the tree. Oh, I don't remember the blessing by heart. And I can't carry the siddur. Are you allowed to now, after you already saw it, so you saw it already, can you go on Sunday again and make the blessing?
Yeah.
Correct. So even though you already saw it, so Sunday is going to come, the day of Sunday, it's already not the first time you're seeing it, you can still make the blessing. With that being said, still one should be careful to try to be able to make the blessing the first time you see it. So the first time you see the tree, that it's important to try to your best to make sure that you make the blessing then. If you didn't get a chance to do so, then you could still do it when you have the siddur, when you have the next time you do it. Okay, so that's the halachas in short when it comes to the month of Nisan, making the blessing of the tree. Now, as we mentioned, the entire month of Nisan we don't say Tachnun. So by Tishrei, the first month of the year, that's only by Erev Yom Kippur we start, that we don't say for the rest of the month. But Nisan is special, the entire month of Nisan we don't say Tachnun. Can anyone guess why?
You see.
Nisan, yeah, many miracles happen in the month of Nisan. Yeah, that's one of the reasons. So,
Beginning of the year.
very good. Very good. So, what's brought down is something important. I don't even know if this sefer brings it. Yes, it does. Okay, we'll see in a second. We start to begin to read the parsha of the Nasi. We're going to see it in a second. So for the first 12 days, every day we read the special parsha of the Nasi. It's imprinted in the Siddur. The 13th day we say for Shevet Levi, we say a special one which encompasses all the Shvatim. These are special days. It's considered a Yom Tov. Why? Because when the Nesiim, when the leaders of the Jewish people, when they would bring their contribution to the Mishkan, that was considered a Yom Tov. So you have 13 days, or 12 days, 13 days of a Yom Tov, plus you have all the days of Pesach. It comes out that most of the month is already a Yom Tov. And since most of the month is considered a Yom Tov, so you go by majority, and the whole month you don't say Tachnun. It's nice. The whole month you don't say Tachnun, but again, you also don't do Aveda, so it works out. So that means we don't say Tachnun after the davening, after Shemona Esrei, the Amidah. We don't say the portions of Tachnun in Karbonis before we start Shachris. We don't say Lam Natseach between Asher and Uvel Tzion. We don't say Kel and Chapayim before we read the Torah. Good. Also on Shabbos, we don't say Tzidkoscha, right? By Mincha, there's a special insert after Shemona Esrei. Tzidkoscha Tzedek Le'elam, right? The Tzidkoscha. So we don't say that the entire month of Nisan, so it's 4 Shabbosim. We don't say it.
Why do we don't say?
Any Tachnun. I'm just going through the specific inserts, but anywhere where you say, because of Tachnun, you don't say it. Avarachmim, also on Shabbos, between Shachris and Musaf, you don't say. Also important, Erev Pesach, after we say Baruch Sha'amar, we say a little paragraph of Mizmor L'Seidah, Mizmor L'Todah, right before, right after Baruch Shamar, we don't say it on Erev Pesach, because on that day we don't bring a carbon teda. So it's not said. Okay, so that's when it comes to the davening. So the davening, very simple.
Can we use it
What's this?
if it's out?
Oh yeah, you can still use it. Yeah. So again, so the whole month of Nisan we don't say Tachnun. Erev Pesach we don't say Mizmor Seder. In the English Sedurim it's printed. So after you say Blessed is He and the world was created, Baruch Shamar V'Ha'olam, right? Baruch Shamar, the little paragraph right there. It has in English on Erev Pesach and Erev Yom Kippur. We don't say it. So Erev Pesach, remember to read that little line in English, and you'll know you don't say it that day.
What we don't say
So by Baruch Shamar, by Shachris,
in
by
Shabbos or?
no, by the weekday. The weekday.
Okay.
So you'll see there's a little paragraph of Mizmor Seder, Mizmor Tadar. We don't say it. So Erev Pesach, the day before Pesach, we don't say that. Now, what about going to Kvaris, to going to the cemetery, to visit loved ones, so on and so forth? Can you go during the month of Nisan or not? The answer is you could. If somebody has a yard site, somebody wants to visit, whatever it is, you are allowed to go to the cemetery and to visit different Kvarim, but we don't say the special tefillah of Kel Chapayim, Kel Malirachimim. It's a special tefillah. We don't say it during these days because it's a day that we don't say Tachnun, so we don't say that tefillah. On Rosh Chodesh, we don't go to the cemetery, so you should go a day before, a day after.
Where?
On Rosh Chodesh. Rosh Chodesh, we don't go to a cemetery. We'll see about Kivri Tzaddik going to the oil. We'll see that in a second. Erev Shabbos, if one is going, they should go before Chatzais. Chol HaMoed, we do not go to the Beis HaChaim. We don't go to the cemetery on Chol HaMoed. Kivrei Tzadikim, to go to the oil is different. This is allowed. So to go to the oil on Chol HaMoed is not a problem. What about fasting in the month of Nisan? Is one allowed to fast? Correct. The answer is you don't fast in the month of Nisan. So even those who have the custom that they fast on the day of the yard site, let's say for those that they don't have a parent, and it's that day of the year, falls out in the month of Nisan, there's a custom, many fast on that day. It's a special day, you fast. Chodesh Nisan, you don't fast.
So that means that those people like.
Yeah, they get it off easy. That's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. But somebody getting married in the month of Nisan, that's different. If somebody's chuppah is a month of Nisan, you do fast, even if it falls on Rosh Chodesh. The general rule is you don't fast on Rosh Chodesh. It's a happy day. So if somebody's getting married in the month, on the first of the month, on Rosh Chodesh, in general, they don't fast. Chodesh Nisan, in the month of Nisan, we do fast. And if you get married any time in the month of Nisan, so even though the custom is we don't fast the entire month, but for Yom HaChuppah, for the day of the wedding, you actually do fast. Can anyone guess why? What's the difference?
Break the old boundaries.
Oh, very common boundaries. Yeah. So the answer is Be'etzem. It's a day, really, it should be a day that we do fast because it's on that day that the sons of Adar and Kohen passed away. So, but we don't set up a fast day on Rosh Chodesh. But since this day, Be'etzem, really, it would be befitting to fast on anyways. So when it comes to a chuppah, we actually do fast. For everything else, we wouldn't fast. For such an auspicious day, you do fast on Rosh Chodesh Nisan.
Can I say something?
Yeah, sure.
How do we sorry,
Give matzah.
but how can we need to go with all this?
Good question. So Mitzrayim, is a little bit different on Chol Hamoed, because really the mitzvah is to eat matzah on the first 2 nights. After that, according to most opinions, there's no mitzvah anymore to eat matzah. According to some opinions, if you do eat it, you fulfill a mitzvah, but so you can get on Shabbos candles. Or the brochures, the pamphlets. If time on Pesach is very different. Even for boys, for men, there's no tefillin to put on. There's nothing to do. Because on Chol Hamoed we don't put on tefillin. 1 week. Yeah, the intermediate day. Not it's a few days. It's the days in between. So even for the Bachrim, there's not really much of time to do.
So we need to make matzah?
Even that, not necessarily.
Necessary? No.
You give candles. Oh, before Pesach. Before Pesach, yeah.
Before Pesach.
Yeah, before Pesach, they give out the matzahs, yeah. So they should have for the first 2 nights, yeah. The Shemek Zayis. Yeah. So the name of time of Pesach is before.
So what people do? They go with the it's very big.
Yeah, so some people, they go on the mitzvah tank. Some people, they just visit a few people, so they bring them matzah. Some people carry, depends. It's whatever works for them. So
only before the first night of Pesach.
yeah,
So they
That's
have
the main
for
thing.
the 7th.
for the Havas Seder, exactly. And after
for
that-
the Sheni, it's not obligated?
No, they should also have. They should also give enough matzah. The biblical mitzvah min Torah is the first night. The second night is midrabanan.
We also do that.
But we give for the second night also. Yeah, I remember. I went to Germany for Merke Shluchos to make a seder, and we were flying back in the middle of Pesach. We stopped off in France. And the guy checking us in was Israeli. He was so happy to see us, and I felt so terrible. I couldn't do anything with him. There's no tefillin on Chol Hamoed. Matzah is not going to help. I didn't have any matzahs. We were going back. There's no mitzvah, and there's no mitzvah that we were able to do together. I felt so. You meet a Jew, he's so excited. He started speaking to us in Hebrew. He was so happy to see us. And there's nothing you can do. There's no you couldn't put on tefillin, you couldn't do anything. It is what it is. What are you gonna do?
But only this is a fact.
Sorry?
Only to see it's
Yeah, to see, yeah. It's also good, yeah. It's a mitzvah to be happy on Chol Hamoed. So if that brought him happiness, he's also good. If Chas v'Shalom, somebody passes away in the month of Nisan, the halacha is there's no hespedim. For those that have a custom to give a hesped, our custom is not to do so, but for those that do, we do not make hespedim in the month of Nisan, only for Talmud Chacham at the time of the Levaya. Okay. And as we mentioned, there is a halacha that we read, the Parshas Nesiyim that we read. It's printed in the Siddur. Every single day you read the Parshas Nasi for that tribe. So I'm sure there's going to be plenty of reminders going around. Don't forget the Nasi, don't forget the Nasi, so on and so forth. You'll see that. Okay, this is very, very important. Eating matzah before Pesach.
No.
That's right. It's important to know that this custom only applies to matzahs which are kosher Pesach. If you have things that look like matzah but they're chametz, that is okay. That's not a problem. You are allowed to eat that.
Also, if it's matzah not shmura,
If it's kosher Pesach, still shouldn't eat it. If it's
it's kosher, but it's not kosher.
yeah, because it goes by taste.
Ah.
So because what's the reason for the custom? Why do we eat it? So it comes to the seder, you fulfill the mitzvah with more to oven. You're more excited to fulfill the mitzvah. It's something that you eat once a year, so you fulfill the mitzvah with more happiness. For a child, there's no problem. You can give to a child to eat matzah before Pesach. It doesn't apply to children. Before Pesach, yeah. Before Pesach. On Pesach, we'll discuss. Yeah.
It's a lot of problem.
Yeah. Oh, we're gonna get there. There's a lot. No, but you'll see. You're gonna know it.
Okay.
You're gonna know it better than everyone else.
Wow.
When there's a need, you can use kosher matzah as like a mishnah. Okay. Now, this is important. On Adar Pesach itself, you don't give matzah even to a child. Okay, so that's Mitzvah Hashem, and we'll continue. Mitzvah Hashem.
Wow, girls. We are something special. Learn.